The Institute for Economic Justice and Pay the Grants, through their lawyers at the Socio-Economic Rights Institute, filed court papers challenging regulations on what they say unlawfully and unconstitutionally exclude millions of people living in poverty from receiving the Social Relief of Distress grant. The papers filed in the North Gauteng High Court include 79 supporting affidavits from people directly impacted by these regulations. Elizabeth Raiters, Pay the Grants Deputy Chairperson, now joins us for this discussion, and she joins us via our Zoom link. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. Of course, you are taking government to court over the issue of the Social Relief of Distress grants. Tell us why.
Good evening, Mbali. Okay, the reason why we've decided to take the government to court is because the declines is so unfair. Unfortunately, majority of beneficiaries, more than half that applied, have been declined since the cycle started. And when they do appeal, they are also declined by tribunal, as tribunal is using exactly the same data that SASSA is using to decline them.
And those you've spoken to, Elizabeth, what are they saying are the reasons for their applications to be declined?
Majority of the beneficiaries say that they have no income at all, so they can't understand really why it would be means income source or alternative income source. So even if a family member just sends you 100 rand, then you get declined for means income source.
And maybe if you can just give us a bit of insight, because we know that this was a grant that was meant to help, millions of South Africans during the COVID-19 pandemic. How did this actually affect them directly if they applied for this social relief grant and, they could not actually even get access to this money?
Bali, it's very unfortunate that SASSA only has an online process. The beneficiaries can't walk into any SASSA office and apply for this grant. And so now with the new rules even coming in, if you have to borrow a cell phone from someone and apply via their phone with their phone number, you will definitely get excluded as referred, because you need to have your own SIM card that's registered in your own name. And unfortunately, beneficiaries are too poor to afford a smart cell phone or even internet access.
So are you saying that there's too many discrepancies here when it comes to the application of the social relief grant?
Yes, definitely, in Bali. Even the questions that are asked when you do apply for the grant, the questions does not relate to anything in the grant. They will, for instance, ask you your mother's ID number, your husband's ID number. So their questions is just exclusionary, and it's just excluding more beneficiaries.
And I understand that it's because of this that you are now taking this matter to court. If maybe you can give us a bit of an insight, what exactly will you be arguing in court? When it comes to why you have actually now taken legal action with some of your other partners and organizations to address this issue at a government level.
In Bali, we've reached out on many occasions to SASSA to fix this issue, but unfortunately, it has fallen on deaf ears. We've reached out to the minister. We signed a petition last year that the minister must step down. But with this cycle, things are just worse, and we decided to go the court route because that's the only thing that will give beneficiaries some type of relief from this unjust that's being done to them.
And maybe if you can just tell us, Elizabeth, that especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, those who couldn't get the access to this grant, how did that actually impact their lives?
Mbali, I can tell you it's been very bad. Out here, beneficiaries are crying, and seeing this grant is not stable because you will get approved for 1 month, and in the next 2-3 months you'll get declined. Then you'll get approved again. So even the grant is not stable at all. So there's no guarantee every month that you're going to get the grant. So beneficiaries are really starving outside.
Why is this so important to you? Why is it so important for you, to take part in this and, to have this highlighted and, get government to actually address, the importance of the social relief grant and to access the people it's meant, to actually benefit?
Bali, unfortunately, I'm one of those beneficiaries that has been declined since last year, April. So every month I know already I'm going to be declined. And the reason I'm being declined for means income source, it's because my organization sends money in my account to attend workshops, transport money to perform tasks or stuff. And I'm getting declined for means income source. Yet that money does not belong to me. It's not the salary. It's no income. It's not money that I can use on myself or my family to survive. And that's why this fight is very personal for me.
All right, then, Elizabeth, thank you so much for your time. That is Elizabeth Raiters. She is the Deputy Chairperson for Pay the Grants, just giving us a bit of insight there in terms of why is it that they are taking this matter to court, saying that a number of people have been declined. Some don't have access to Wi-Fi or data. Some don't even have access to social media, or rather the internet access or smartphones, so that they can put through their applications so that they become the beneficiaries of the social relief of distress grants.